For more than 4 years of making video games, I've been able to keep track of everything I've learned and every project I've worked on, which made me a better developer. And that's not because I keep everything in my brain, because if you know me, I actually have a little brain and a weak memory. But it's because I built a second brain that allowed me to distill everything from my mind and have this digital knowledge management system that I can retrieve information from it at any time. And if you have been making games for a while or you're still learning game development, you know that there is a ton of information flooding every day that we want to keep track of and save for later. Maybe there's a new engine feature you heard about that you want to save for later, or maybe you got some cool game or mechanic idea while doing your deed but you couldn't capture it somewhere. Or maybe you wanted to get back to the note that you have taken while following some course or watching some technical talk, but you couldn't find it because your notes are all over the place. Whatever your second brain or simply your note taking or knowledge management system looks like, if it doesn't allow you to easily capture and easily retrieve information, then this video is for you. But if you're comfortable with it and it does its job, then you're doing great, and please don't waste your time listening to me. Today I'm going to walk you through two things. First, what is a second brain and why you should have one, and then how can you build your own second brain and how mine looks like, with examples of what I've been able to keep track of and how I'm able to benefit from it every day. So let's get started. First of all, if you don't know what is a second brain and you don't know me, then hello. My name is Amr and I'm a gameplay programmer who is obsessed with productivity, and I've been following many productivity gurus for the past 4 or 5 years. And here I share with you the tips that actually worked for me, because I know there's a lot of nonsense out there and not all the tips and systems apply for all of us. But one of these systems that actually worked for me and had much benefits is building a second brain, which is a concept that got introduced by Tiago Forte in his book with the same name. And it aims to solve this problem we all face as game developers. And actually, not just us game developers, but probably every job out there. And that is, every day there is dozens of information coming out. New games getting released, new engine features we want to save for later, meeting nodes and plans that get changed and we want to keep track of. And the list goes on. And that leads us to sometimes feeling overwhelmed or overloaded, not being able to find the information that we need when we need them. And the solution is simple. Our mind is for having ideas, not holding them. Instead of relying on our brain and memory, thinking that we will find all this information later, we should instead write them down somewhere that is organized and allow us to retrieve them easily. And actually, many of us do the first part. Many of us write things down and take notes. But the main problem is that many of us fail to organize their notes and collected knowledge. So we end up not being able to find them and use them when we need them. So let's start talking about how can you build your own second brain. There are multiple methods for building your own second brain or knowledge management system. The most popular are Para and Zettelkasten. They differ in that Para organizes information into 4 categories: projects, areas, resources, and archive, while Zettelkasten keeps all nodes in a single folder, allowing us to later link these nodes together rather than having some sort of rigid categories. And there are many digital tools to build your own second brain, like Notion, Obsidian, Evernote, Remnote, Mermaid, Inkdrop, and the list goes on, or you can even use non-digital classic pen and paper. But actually, neither the method nor the tool matter. What matters are the 3 core principles of knowledge management, which are capture, organize, and retrieve. A good second brain should allow us to capture information easily and be able to retrieve them quickly. So let me walk you through my second brain system and then show you some tips I've been able to use to capture and retrieve information quickly. I personally use the Para method and Notion for my own second brain. To be more specific, I use a Notion template called the Ultimate Brain created by Thomas Frank, but that doesn't matter and it's not sponsored in any way. Yet I'll leave some links in the description if you would like to have a similar system. This means that all of my information fall into one of these 4 pages. My areas page contains all the different areas that are currently taking part of my life and I'm actively working on and have some sort of responsibility in. My project page contains all the projects that I haven't yet archived, whether it's a project I'm actively working on or something I want to do later. My resources page contains all the topics of ongoing interest. This is the most important one for me. And you can think of a resource as a container of information related to a specific topic, but not to a specific project or task or action. For example, Here I have a resource for job applications where I keep all my resumes, past applications, inspiring portfolios, or game job websites. And I have multiple resources related to my technical development area. For example, since I'm very interested in Unreal Engine, I have multiple sub-resources of Unreal related topics that I can get back to whenever I need something. Let's say, for example, I'm optimizing my game and I want to get reminded of some optimization tips or notes I've taken. I can simply open that resource and look into the different notes I have for that topic. Finally, my archive page contains everything I have archived, whether it's an area, project, or a resource. For example, since I stopped freelancing a while ago, I have archived that area along with all the projects associated with it and all the notes. But to this day, I sometimes get back to it when I want to get some useful info from an archived project. As a solo developer or a student, these resources are very beneficial to me. But let's say I'm working in a team and I want to share a resource that I've read a while back with one of my new colleagues. Then I can find it easily and share it with them. Or let's say I'm a creator and want to create some video or course. Then I have a bunch of useful resources that I can get back to for inspiration and find many useful ideas that I've saved previously. And speaking of learning resources and knowledge, you know what is one of the best resources you can obtain knowledge and learn different game programming subjects from? Brilliant, who are kindly sponsoring today's video. Brilliant is an educational platform that has thousands of interactive lessons in math, programming, data analysis, and AI. It stands out from the rest of other platforms because it allows you to learn by doing instead of consuming. And you do that by solving interactive lessons rather than just passively learning. It has helped me develop a powerful daily learning habit as I've been personally using it every day for the past couple of months, and I was able to maintain a streak of 80 plus days. This habit of learning a little every day is one of the most important things you can do, both for your personal and professional growth. It has allowed me to get over my poor learning habits and brush up on my programming and problem-solving skills through its different programming courses, as well as learn more advanced math subjects through their linear algebra and calculus courses. You can try out everything Brilliant has to offer for free for a full 30 days by visiting brilliant.org/UmberMakesGames, which you'll find link in the description below or by scanning the QR code on screen. And you'll also get 20% off an annual premium subscription. A huge thank you to Brilliant for sponsoring this video. Now let's talk about some tips that have allowed me to easily and quickly capture, organize, and retrieve information, and thus use this system every day. The idea here is that we want to minimize the steps and time needed to capture, organize, or retrieve information. For example, let's say while scrolling through YouTube, I came across a cool talk that talks about optimization which I want to capture and save for later. Instead of having to open Notion, navigate to my resources page, then to my optimization resource, and then create a new page, name the page, and copy-paste the link to the video, I have a Notion integration installed in all of my browsers that allows this to happen in a single step. Another tip is that there is a quick capture page that allows me to quickly capture anything. And if I'm on my phone, I have a widget on my home screen with the quick capture page accessible with one click. And for organization, to be able to organize my notes without thinking twice about where something should go, the key insight that I've learned from Thiago's book is that information should be stored where you'll use them, not where you found them. For example, instead of having resources for technical talks, books, articles, or podcasts, we better organize information based on where we'll use them. For example, we can have resources for game design that we can get back to when we are looking for new game ideas. Or we can have resources for debugging or optimization when we are optimizing our game. And each of these resources might contain notes or information found from books, technical talks, blogs, or podcasts, all focused on the same topic. And to be able to retrieve information quickly, I add my frequently opened page to my favorites list, so I can quickly access them whether I'm using my phone or my desktop. Another thing that helps me as well is knowing some search shortcuts with the tool that I'm using to quickly jump to different pages or resources. So, this is mainly my second brain system. It's not perfect, and I sometimes try different tools, but at least I'm comfortable with it and it does the job well. If you are new to this, please know that it has taken me multiple iterations to find the system I'm comfortable with. So start small and don't try to make a complex system that you will get lost while using it. Maybe start with one page at a time, and as you get more comfortable with the tool, you can unlock more options. What matters is that you should try to adopt this mindset that your brain is for having ideas, not storing them. It has made me a better developer over time and allowed me to maintain everything I've learned without feeling overwhelmed. If you like this video and want to learn more about the productivity tips and systems that I've actually applied and worked for me, then consider watching this video. And if you want to learn about how I learned how to learn more efficiently and created better learning habits, then consider watching this one instead. And as always, thank you for making it to the end of this video. This was Amr, and I shall see you in the next one.